Welcome to the regular board meeting, Village of Norridge, Wednesday, July 8, 2015. I'll call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
President Shmura?
Here.
Clerk Budnick? Trustee Kucharski?
Here.
Trustee Tannhauser?
Here.
Trustee Solomowski?
Attending.
Trustee Belligario?
Here.
Trustee Gregorio?
Here.
Trustee Gelsomino?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We put a deputy chief over there. Motion to approve and adopt the minutes of the regular meeting of June 24, 2015, as presented and published, and that they may be part of the record.
So moved, Mr. President.
First, Trustee Solomowski, second, Trustee Tannhauser. Vote, please. 6-0, motion carries. Nothing in the President's report, so we'll go right to the committee reports. Finance, licenses, and contracts. Trustee Gregorio.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have nothing in discussion, and are there any modifications to my agenda? Hearing none, I'll make a motion to accept items A and B on my agenda.
Second.
Motion Gregorio, seconded by Kucharski. Vote, please. Yeah. It is. Okay, well, it's 6-0, or maybe 7-0, but I don't know how big the 7-0 is. 6-0, okay. We have a renegade trustee around this.
This is that high class.
Take your shoes off and come on in.
I'm out of control.
That counts as an every
I need a mulligan here.
Then I apologize. Who seconded that one?
Seconded was Gregorio, second was Kucharski.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, motion carries 6-0. Okay, thank you. Law and Ordinance, Economic Development, Trustee Belligario.
Thank you, Mr. President. Under discussion, I don't have anything to report. And under action items, I have item A and B. If there are no questions, I'd like to have the conclusion noted.
Second.
First by Trustee Belligario, second by Trustee Gregorio. Vote, please. 6-0, motion carries.
That is all I have, sir.
Thank you, sir. Water, utilities, IT, parking, electrical integration, street light, cable replacement, and he locks the door at night. Trustee Solomowski.
We have to come up with an acronym.
Yeah, we do.
Mr. President. I do have two items in committee, the selected restricted street parking for winter, as well as the putting up the stop signs near the Giles School. I would like to forward that to Trustee Belligario and to Law and Ordinance, so we can have ordinances drafted to have those enacted. And that's all I really have, Mr. President.
Trustee Solomowski, can I ask you something? Are we going to be sending out some kind of a survey to the residents in regard to what their feedback would be on this particular item?
Which one, stop signs or
No,
the
selected
winter parking?
restricted street parking.
I did not intend to, because I did not think that we would be able to get everybody in agreement with that. We will notify them going forward that this will be enacted. Once again, these were the streets that we know that when the snow plows come through, they do not actually get curb to curb, and the concern is for the safety of getting fire trucks and ambulances down these streets. They are a little bit more narrow, and I'm almost positive that we would not get full agreement with that, or even the majority with that as well.
Okay.
I would say that from our town hall meeting, Trustee Tannhauser was there too, that we promised the residents at that time that when we do make some changes, we will include them in any type of input. At least we should try to get input from them. I agree, we're never going to get 100%. I don't care if we gave them $100 bills because someone would say it's crumpled, they didn't want it. So the fact is, we should go out for input at each one of those streets somehow, and at least compile some data and then make the proper
Okay,
decision.
very good. We can do that, Mr. President. I will ask Kathy Gazer to do that, to send out letters for their input regarding that.
Let me ask you, do the rest of the trustees think that should be done? Or what?
Yes.
Yes, yeah, I think.
Trustee Gelsomino, what do you think?
I don't think at this time, I don't agree with that.
You know?
Well, I was just thinking of what happened with Overhead.
what's the reason that you don't
Like
think?
you say, you're not gonna get 50-50 response, and we're doing what's best for the community, and best for our emergency vehicles, and best for our snowplows.
The only issue with that is,
Mr. President, I'm sorry.
the only issue with that is, like Jim was saying, at the town hall, when we did the survey last time for the Overhill project.
Yes.
It took 4 years from inception, till now. So what ended up happening is 50% of the residents were new. So the residents that were there before knew about it 4 years ago. We did do a vote, and like Don said, that, it was 50-50. And so, we had one ahead with the project, but the problem is that since 4 years ago, there was like 40% new people on that block with kids. They weren't kids before, they were older people who left, new kids. So that's why, like Jim says, the 50 people that were here on Saturday were
Let me ask you a
complaining that
question,
they.
were you gonna send out a survey to those people, and if those people said they didn't want Overhill done, we weren't gonna do the street?
No, they just wanted
You
to
wanted
go.
to
They wanted
inform,
to
so
keep
we can send out a letter
We
informing.
don't,
Right.
in fact, that question did come up, and I told them at that point that I still was gonna go ahead and do the street because of the sores that were so bad, the curbs were non-existent, and we happen to have $1.9 million deal where 80% was picked up by the federal government. I think after they heard that, they understood the decision, and they're happy that they're getting sores and curbs, but they thought they should
They
maybe.
should be part of the vote.
That's right, part of the discussion.
Maybe just to give them a heads up,
Well, it's not really an issue, but I agree with trustee Gelsomino as far as going for the notification, because if it's going to be looking to get even a majority or everything, I can anticipate that there are going to be people that are going to be disgruntled with this, as far as that going. And even if you do the explanation as far as explaining it for the health and safety of people, that heaven forbid, as we saw when we had the house burned down.
Sure.
And I know our equipment was able to get there, but when we plow the streets, and from that we don't get curb to curb, even if it's 6 inches off that curb, that street narrows down. And with the size of the equipment we have, especially the fire trucks, that's very close. And in those situations, even when there's a medical emergency, somebody having a heart attack, time is of the essence. And a couple of seconds can mean life and death.
You know what, I think that's put in the letter.
And that's fine.
I think that's what you want, because I think if you don't give them any chance for input, it's like they're left out of discussion.
Not a problem,
yeah,
Mr.
that's.
President.
I mean, I just
think that-
think
Not a
the
problem.
planning would be excited.
Not a problem.
Be sure you put down the reasons.
Oh, you know what, that letter, once it gets, it can be dispersed to the trustees and everybody, and anybody can add to it, and we'll go from there.
Right.
Very good.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I was just going to say, under these conditions, it should not be a vote. It should just be informing them, and this is a thing that is for health and a necessary thing. And as long as they know, I really think they'd be very satisfied. So it's the informing them to let them know, and then they feel part of it.
Yeah, maybe I phrased it wrong, but I thought we want their input. I didn't want their vote, I want their input.
Input.
There's a difference, and we gather some data, and we see what, they may have a couple of ideas that we didn't think about.
And that's true.
Yes.
And I don't have a problem doing that, but I also strongly agree with trustees Kucharski and Gelsomino, that with the input with that, it's going to lead to second guessing, et cetera, et cetera. But I can see the perspective allowing them, this is what we're going to be doing,
Right.
et cetera. So that's not an issue. I will instruct Kathy Gazer to draft a letter. Now, this is just regarding for the streets for the winter regulations.
That's
Right, yes.
The other one for the Giles, the
No,
stop
that's-
signs at the Giles,
That's good.
turn that over to them. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I think the board's gonna do what's right no matter what, but having the input might help us.
Not a problem.
Okay.
So can we leave that in committee, the restricted parking, leave in committee, and the next
This was only
forward to,
discussion.
stop sign forward to lawn
Fine
ordinance?
by me.
Yeah, there's no hurry, winter's not here yet. is it?
Right.
I don't know, the winter, I don't know.
It's getting cold.
Better not.
Mr. President, I was just asking, as the person who's ultimately going to develop, actually write the ordinance, someone tell me exactly what I'm
Oh,
doing.
you'll get a copy of it.
Okay.
Don't we always tell you what to do?
You may not agree with
Are you
it.
confused, Mr. Chester?
And, Mr. President, that's all I have.
Thank you. Thank you. Police, trustee Kucharski?
I have nothing in discussion, sir, and I'd like to make a motion to accept item A in actions.
Second.
First, trustee Kucharski, second trustee Tannhauser, vote please. 6-0, motion carries. Thank you. Village Properties Insurance, trustee Gelsomino.
Under discussion, Mr. President, we're starting to review the insurance for next year, and under action, I have nothing.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Dan Tannhauser, Public Works, tree program, cell phone, sites, so on.
Thank you, Mr. President. Under discussion, the town hall meeting for the residents of 4800 through 5200 blocks of Overhill Avenue was on Saturday, June 27th. 38 residents were in attendance. The status of the Overhill Avenue street improvements was discussed, as well as the timeline for the coming week. Residents will be receiving weekly project updates, as well as we're sending some of them letters.
Some letters, some emails.
We're putting them on our website, and we're emailing all the residents for our discussion with them that Saturday.
Right. And the one change on that street as of this week, the east side should be completed. And I told them, do not start on the west side until Monday. And that's because of the fest. So that we can still control the traffic and the local traffic basically. This way they'll still have both ends of the street to go on their driveways. If we did something on the west side, then we'd have chaos again. So Monday they will start on the west side. And I think the residents are very happy with that.
And then one thing under discussion, just want to remind everybody about the first annual Norridge Car Show. It's going to be August 1st at the Divine Savior, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Have we checked the weather?
They're predicting 6 inches.
You better hurry up with that discussion.
And that's all I have for discussion. And under action items, number 8, if anybody has any questions, modifications, I'd like to make a motion.
Second. Motion trustee Tannhauser, seconded by trustee Solimowski. Vote please. 6-0, motion carries. Thank you.
That's it, Mr. President.
General, anything on your desk? You got nothing? We're gonna have to put something on your desk.
I was going to car show, you got it, so perfect.
You took our thunder away.
That's all right, no
It's
problem.
okay, man. I took your committee away last
Yeah.
night. Okay. At this time, anybody would like to come up to the microphone and speak? This is the time to do it. Yes, sir.
Shelton Berger, 4126 Overhill in Norridge. I missed the budget hearing meeting a couple weeks ago, so what I may ask, maybe, redundant, I don't know what. We all got our property tax bills the other day, and I think most of us got hit with sticker shock. It was far higher than we all expected. On the village levies, I know there's $1 million for the police pension fund. I have no problem with that at all. My question to you is this: is there any other levy that the village of Norridge did on the property tax dollars about to do other than the police pension fund?
There's nothing planned at this point. I believe that the police pension is the only thing, and if I remember correctly, looking at my bill, it was like about 2.85 of the whole bill, so it's not even, it's less than 3% at this point.
I'm not questioning the pension fund levy at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's nothing else at this point.
Okay. Okay. My other question to you is the dear old subject of flooding.
What?
Flooding.
Flooding.
Rain, flooding. The past couple of years, I and I think other people have asked the village to look into various options to help divert some of the water where possible. And I know they've come up with some ideas, especially by the shopping center and stuff. But has anything happened since then?